Today, friends, I'm in Central Florida in a town called Mount Dora. And it's home to Big Al's Lake County Musicians Swap Meet. And it's the largest and longest running event of its kind in the Southeast. This is one big giant guitar flea market. Let's check it out. Now this entire wing of the flea market is dedicated to guitar and amps. And friends, there was a lot to see. It was literally a guitar lover's gold mine. And this musician's swap meet has been going strong for 16 years and is held every second Sunday in September, November, January, March, and May. And let me tell you, this flea market has everything from acoustics, guitar amps, and a treasure trove of electric guitars. Let's take a look at a few. We've got a 1960s Japanese-made Taisco here. And the tag says it's a E100 Tulip, and it's selling for $275. This is a really cool looking guitar. I dig this thing. This is a very nice looking Strat style guitar by Court, and they're asking for $180 for it. But I must say, I definitely dislike the headstock on this guitar. Here we have a very rare and quirky piggyback amp by Dan Electro. This DS50 is from 1965 and it has three 10-inch speakers in the cabinet, and they're asking $850 for it. And continuing with the Dan Electro theme, here's a guitar made by them bearing the Silvertone name. This is a 1960s 1457 model with the amp built into the case. Okay, we've got an old German-made Framist here. This thing is pretty cool and in really nice condition. This guitar company was pretty popular in the 1960s. This is a really wild guitar. This is a 1960s Domino Californian. These were made in Japan and were basically a Vox Phantom clone. The price is $745 or better offer. This booth had some really nice Squires. Here's a good looking Telecaster Squire selling for $400. And this one reminds me of a Squire Telly I had years ago, and it was really good. And this is a Michael Kelly Telecaster with 3 single coil pickups. These guitars are built in Asia, and I think the final assembly is done here in Clearwater, Florida, where they're based out of. Now this is super cool. Back in 1998, Dan Electro released these colorful, budget-friendly mini pedals. And they were all pretty decent, and they sold a ton of these. And you can take one home today for just $60 each. Now here's something you don't see every day. This is a Gene Autry kids guitar from 1955. This was really neat to see. We've got a Sunburst Epiphone AJ220S for sale. A very nice acoustic instrument, good budget guitar. And here we have an old Harmony Stratotone Mercury H48 in very good condition. It's got a single gold foil pickup on it, and these guitars are fun. I love Harmonies. Now here's another one of those Silvertone guitars with the built-in amp into the case. Now this guitar is different than the one that I just showed you. This is a 1962 Silvertone 1448, and it's a short scale guitar with a single lipstick pickup. Now again, Silvertone Guitars was the Sears in-house brand, and these specific models were made by Dan Electro. This guitar is going for $825 or better offer. I'm a sucker for Silvertone archtops. This one is probably either made by Harmony or Kay, and the guitar looks in really good condition. It's got a new Tune-O-Matic style bridge on it and also some new tuners. Here we have a Epiphone Dove that's selling for $300. A wonderful guitar right here. And friends, there's even another one. There's another 1448 Silvertone. This one's from 1965, and they're asking for $775 or better offer. I just love the black sparkle finish on these. So cool looking. Now there were definitely a lot of vintage amps for sale at the swap meet. and it was fun looking at all the different ones for sale. These Harmony amps were pretty cool to see. Now here's a Model 1 Hagstrom from 1962, and it looks like it's in really good condition. I like this thing, it's kinda neat. Oh, and here's another red Hagstrom. It's a different model, but I like this one better, I think, and they are asking for $1,000 for this thing. Anybody like playing a lap steel? Well, if you do, you can get yourself one here for $350. Here's a made in Mexico Fender Stratocaster Squire series. It's selling for $500. This is a tungsten Mosaic MK2 amplifier. This is a very small company out of Florida, and this is a simple and straightforward amp. What's not to like? And they also had a slew of their many different fuzz pedals there for sale. Here at the swap meet, there's a bunch of loaded pick guards you can purchase. And we've got some Fender monogrammed straps here. Back in the late 80s, I had a Fender monogrammed strap. No idea where it went. But you can pick one up here for just 10 bucks. Now there's lots of miscellaneous stuff to pick out here as well. If you dig in deep enough, I'm sure you'll find something you'll need. We are at the Possum Hollow Guitars booth, and I like what they do with these Squire Tellies. He spruces them up, like adding that armrest. It's the little things like that and other stuff, and it just takes it up a notch. It makes them look really cool, and I dig it. Here's a 1960s Silvertone 1446, also known as the Chris Isaak guitar. Now, Chris played one back in his early years, back when his first album debuted. This is a great guitar, and it's not to be overlooked. And there's some vinyl for sale here, and we've got some Link Wray records in the bin. Now, back in the day, I was lucky enough to open for Link Wray once in the late 90s at the House of Blues in Orlando. He sounded incredible. Back then, still such a great player. It was such a great memory for me, and to be backstage with him and share the same bill, such an honor. Link Wray was a legend. And speaking of legends, here's a Dwayne Eddy album, Have Twangy Guitar, Will Travel. And moving right along to the other side of the flea market, I spied a Epiphone Wildcat. Now, I can remember when these were kind of popular in the very early 2000s among rock and roll and rockabilly players. They were definitely a more budget-friendly option back then if you couldn't afford a Gretsch. Here we have a Epiphone ES335 model and a very nice case for $750. This is a Reverend guitar, and I've never played one, and I don't know much about them. I know they're an American company and their guitars are constructed in Korea, but I've only heard good things about the brand, and this 3-pickup guitar looks really cool. Now friends, here's a overlooked guitar and quite possibly one of my favorites at the swap meet today. This is a Gibson Blues Hawk, and it's like a cross between a Les Paul and an ES-135. These guitars are very unique and they're discontinued, and for $1,200 it can be yours. This is a Epiphone Lucille model for $800. Now this swap meet today is definitely the place to be for some vintage microphones. And here's a Indio guitar made by Monoprice, and this budget guitar is just $100. But this thing would definitely need a setup possibly and some minor work to it, but definitely a fun guitar for modding. We've got a Silvertone 1429 and they're asking $1,100 for it. Lots of Silvertones here today, and that's a good thing. I like me some Silvertone guitars. Now, right next to the guitar flea market, there was a car show going on at the exact same time. How cool is that? So we just had to take a look around and check out these gorgeous vehicles. Here we've got a 1949 Chevy 3600 pickup truck. Now, I've always had a soft spot for old Ford Mustangs. How about you? And here we've got a Pontiac GTO convertible in red. What's not to like? And this is a very nice looking early 1950s Ford Custom line. Now, when I was a little kid, I loved watching those Smokey and the Bandit films, so the Pontiac Firebird will always be a car that I think is just so cool. Well, that swap meet was pretty rad, but now let me show you a little bit of Mount Dora. And we've got a gator. Here's a smaller gator. Oh, going under? Nope, just chilling. We got an old car alert, split window VW bus with a microbus. That's a pickup truck, utility truck. Now I gotta talk about where I stayed the night while in Mount Dora. This is the historic Lakeside Inn, and this Victorian era hotel opened in 1883. And it's the oldest continuously operating hotel in the entire state of Florida. And my fiance and I absolutely love this place. It literally felt like we were taking a step back in time while staying here. We enjoyed drinks at the old school piano bar, and I was shocked that they had Murphy's Irish Stout, which happens to be one of my favorite beers, so I was stoked. And I must say that this bar kind of reminded me of the old Holiday Inn bars that they used to have at their hotels. The breakfast we had on the patio was delicious, and we enjoyed sitting down on the Adirondack chairs by the lake. And not that this hallway was anything like the shining hallway from the movie, but it was a fun vibe that I was getting as I was walking down this hallway to go to our room. And here was our room. I thought it was great, I had no complaints, and we would totally stay here again, and actually we can't wait to book again and come back. What's super cool about this hotel is that they give you keys. How many hotels still give you keys? That's really cool. This place ended up being really special to us, and we will definitely be back. Now, the town was founded in 1880, and the downtown is pretty popular for tourists to come and experience some small town charm. It's filled with nice restaurants and bars, ice cream shops, and antique stores. Alright, we just pulled up to this site about 10 or so minutes from Mount Dora, and we're in Leesburg, Florida. And this is the site where Ozzy Osbourne's legendary guitarist, Randy Rhoads, died in a horrible plane crash. Now in front of me is private property, there's a fence in front of me, so this is as far as I can go. Now in the winter of '82, the Ozzy Osbourne band stopped at this property for the night. Now the tour bus was parked just in front of the mansion here, and the driver of the bus worked for the owner of this property, and there was an airstrip on site. And after giving several members of the crew flights in a private plane, the driver talked Randy Rhoads and the band's hairdresser into taking a flight. Now the bus driver decided to fly directly over the tour bus where Ozzy and several others were sleeping, and after 2 successful passes, the plane clipped the bus with its wing, sending it out of control and into the mansion's garage. All 3 were killed instantly. I'm so glad that we made it here and visited this site to pay our respects to Randy. This is a place that I've known about forever, and a place that I've always wanted to visit, it seems, for so many years. And today we did. Randy Rhoads, man, an amazing guitar player. No? This isn't working, Bonnie.
Just say hey from me.
What happened?
He took some. Maybe he's just full. Okay, so the horse was very happy with me. He just got denied. You want some more hay? You hungry?
No, okay.
No, you're not
so no
hungry
more
anymore?
food. Okay, so it wasn't just me.
Pets?
I thought you were just mad at me.
Very pretty. I think they have so much food available.
You guys just want pets?
Yeah.
Hi. Hi. Well, that's going to wrap things up here in Mount Dora. I've never been here before, never been to that guitar flea market. It was all a lot of fun. But now I'd like to leave you with some inspiring words. Learn something new and try something different. And convince yourself that you have no limits. Because life gets pretty boring when you stay in your comfort zone. And with that, friends, I'm gonna say goodbye to you. Much love to y'all. Stay safe, and I'll see you soon in another guitar video. Take care, everybody, and bye-bye.